There's something going on with this brand in general on the US side of marketing. That's a whole other subject I won't get into today. And this brand is on pretty thin ice with a lot of people. And we're going to be talking about a situation that happened with a content creator and a brand that I really love, Anua. They are a Korean beauty brand. And this story comes from the US-based marketing team for this brand, right? There's a different marketing team for the Korean side and in the US side. And we're going to talk about a brand trip, right? Mainly about how they work from a business point of view. So how it works out for the brand, and that even although some of these brand trips look super extravagant, a lot of them aren't really that much of a big luxury spend for bigger brands. It's like, I swear some of it can probably all be a tax write-off, to be real with you. So if you were to spend like 100K on a brand trip, which would be allocated in budgets every year, and brand trips will be cheaper than standard advertising like billboards for adverts with potentially more reach because of the influencers, depending on whereabouts in the world said brand trip is, they would be able to take a large portion of what they have spent from their taxes, basically getting a chunk back. So it could mean they only spend $75,000 on advertising instead of at $100,000. Pair that with things like business rates, corporate booking discounts. Brand trips end up being a cheap way to advertise because they get to be shown to a concentrated demographic. People are more likely to buy from them instead of like 50% of the people who might watch a random ad being on TV or something like that. And you know, you might see, did I even finish what I was saying? You might even see brand trips online and think that they are luxury or a super nice gift. They're definitely a nice gift, but they definitely aren't like a huge payout in terms of a brand's advertising budget for that year. And ultimately, they cater to the businesses themselves, or they wouldn't be doing them, you know? So this is Anua, I hope I pronounced that right, and a trip she was going to go on went viral, and it's had people kind of with mixed thoughts. Let's have a look.
I have had my fair share of weird encounters with brands, but I need you to tell me if I'm bugging, if I'm tripping, or if I'm in the wrong here. Anua Skincare reaches out to me on August 13th to invite me to their LA pop-up on September 18th. This is an exclusive event. They're inviting specific creators for this pre-launch event. Thank you so much for thinking of me and considering me and wanting me to be a part of your event. Delicious, wonderful. If you look at my bios, if you know me, I am from New York. I'm on the East Coast. You're inviting me to something in LA. I'm at a point in my influencing career when a brand invites me somewhere, they're paying for my accommodations. Cool. Anua says they will pay for my travel accommodations, not hotel. I say cool, whatever. That's no problem. Now I have no other reason to be in LA besides this event, and now that's me traveling 6 hours, so I want to make something of it. So I set up a dance class for me and my friend Layla to do out there in LA, and I'm also having a couple of business meetings out there.
Listen. Oh.
Because I knew I was going to LA for this.
Right, so if you go somewhere, you're going to fly somewhere, you're going to pay for your hotel. Of course, business is business. Do business, right? Of course you're going to make the most of it. That's good. That's good.
When a brand is paying for your travel accommodations, it's usually secured by 2 weeks before, or at least a little bit more in advance, because obviously nobody wants to pay trillions of dollars. Great. Almost a month later, on August 10th, my team tells me that Anua is asking if I'm willing to travel economy. Now, I'm not a bougie bitch. Whatever, cool. But for me personally, when it comes to flights, anything over 3 hours, I like to do things with extra leg room because I feel trapped. I feel like I'm in jail. I feel like I'm suffocating. I don't like that. And I'm so very blessed that I have the money to afford those kind of accommodations.
Same. I'm going to be honest with you. Same. If there's a longer flight, and you can even get extra leg room in economy, right? You can do the exit rows, you can do certain rows and stuff like that. You pay a little bit more for it. Premium economy, business, first class, whatever the airline calls it. Fine. And if you have the money to do it, why not?
I tell my team, it's cool. I will pay for my own upgrade. Economy is fine. And then I told you the event was for the 18th. It's for later in the day. It was probably at like 4 p.m. So honestly, my schedule is type busy. So I wanted to go to LA for that morning on the 18th. My team tells me one of the flight options that they wanted for the 17th. And I'm like, why am I going the day before? I would actually prefer to go the 18th. They say, oh, they're having a dinner and they would like for you to be a part of it. Can you shift your schedule around? Okay, now y'all want me there on the 17th. Okay, I will do that. Great.
So the brand want her there on the 17th and 18th, but they're not going to pay for a hotel. So they're asking you to be there for 2 days and they're still not paying for your hotel?
I'm figuring out my hotel accommodations. I'm paying for my flight upgrade as a personal preference. And now I'm shifting my schedule to be there a day early for what they're asking for. Cool. I'm still down. I'm still like, okay, I'm supposed to go to LA on the 17th or the 18th, and we're a week before and I still don't have any confirmed flights. So I'm getting a little concerned. And on Sunday night, on the 14th, 3 days before I'm supposed to go, I get an email notification for a flight. Anua Skincare booked me on Frontier Airlines. Am I crazy? Am I crazy as fuck? Am I crazy as fuck? Now, when you consider the fact that you're booking this super last minute, you had a month to secure whatever accommodations for me. I tell you, oh, I will upgrade it myself. You book me on an airline that can't even be upgraded. Like, to me, that feels disrespectful. Am I crazy? To me, that feels disrespectful because it feels like you trying to give me scraps. Like you think, oh my gosh, she'll be happy to come be with us anyway. So we'll just put her in the back, put her in row 33E. Yeah, make her pay for her hotel. Yo, like, don't play with me. So I told my team to tell them to cancel it. I'm not going to your event. And now I'm going to LA for no full reason, but at least I'll be a little bit at peace. And if you want to come see me, I am having a dance class on the 20th, me and Layla. Tickets is $5. I just want to see y'all. So if you're in LA, come see me and please tell me if I'm bugging. Like,
you know, if they were like, we're paying for your hotel and we're paying for your flights, I will sit on the flight, even if it's not, you know, business. I've done economy before. I can deal with economy. But if it's personal preference and you have told the brand, I would prefer to upgrade because that's how I feel more comfortable. But I will handle the upgrade. You just book you on a flight. Then I don't see where the mix-up could have been there. And you know what? Most brands are actually going to be, if they fly people out or they fly people around for business, they're probably going to be members of a certain airline, air miles scheme, whatever, you know, that can work on different flights. So they're probably like, oh, we're going to book you with air miles, with the miles we already have. She even mentioned that she would pay to upgrade, which is fair enough to her. Great. Paying for a hotel for one evening, fine. But if a brand want you there on two separate occasions, and they're asking you to pay for your hotel for an extra night because they want you there and they've gone ahead and booked, you know, booking the flight for a different day, or they want to book a flight for a different day, it does get to a point where it's like, hey, but what am I gaining for this? Because you are not paying me to be there. And this is a lot of days out of my schedule. It's a whole day traveling. It's a whole, you know, it is only like a 4 hour flight, but then you have to be at the airport a few hours before. You know what I'm trying to say. Now, some people picked her for being like entitled in the comments. I think she's pretty professional with everything. And I know some people might be watching this and having like a bit of a thing, oh, she's an influencer. She wants to fly premium. Okay, if she can afford, if I was a billionaire, a millionaire, I'll be flying business, premium, first class, private jet. Not private jet because of the way it affects the world. But you know, as well as I could, as comfortably as I could everywhere. So if you can afford an upgrade, do it. That's how come they exist. But the brand kept moving it around and you know, changing things, changing plans. But she was fine with everything. She wasn't entitled. She was okay with everything the brand was asking of her and changing. The only thing she wanted to do, have them pay for the flight like they offered to in the first place, and just book her on a plane that has an upgrade option, and they didn't. So she mentioned being booked with Frontier. I'm not familiar with Frontier. For those of us in the UK, I think like Ryanair. It isn't the nicest airline to fly with, so no upgrades, no food, very bread and butter, which is fine, but maybe a little odd for a brand. Oh, let me read the comments she's responding to. So, you know, I have to lean in. I love you to death, girl. Love your content and everything you stand for. But I fear we are losing the plot. You were super blessed to have the resources and income you have from this very chill job. She said that. She literally said that. A paid flight is a paid flight.
Well, I want to say thank you for all your support, but I need you to understand this line of thinking will land you in very dangerous and miserable situations. At no point in your life should you be saying, oh, you know, I'm just grateful for whatever I can get, or, you know, just settling for the scraps and, oh, whatever they give me. No, you need to know your worth. You need to know, like, that you are of value, and you shouldn't just go around accepting bare minimum because you feel like, oh, well, that's the best I can do. At least that's not the way I operate. Like, that's crazy. First of all, you sought me out. I was never going to LA. You sought me out for me to come to this event, saying, oh my God, we love you as a creator. We'd be honored to have you at our event. You can't even secure that I have a safe and comfortable flight. That's it. I'm not asking.
Let me just interrupt there. Economy isn't unsafe. And it is comfortable. Okay, let's not do that. It's not the bare minimum. Yes, it's the minimum option. But people fly economy every day, and it's you won't die if you fly economy, let's be real. But I get what you're saying, but at the same time, let's not be like it's the bare minimum. It's you don't want me to be safe and comfortable.
For first class, I'm not asking for you to put me in a Ritz. I'm not asking for a red carpet rollout. I'm asking for the same level of standard that I keep for myself. I don't fly Frontier. Who wants to fly on Frontier? Like, I understand how you think maybe this is crazy because you're coming at it from the perspective of, oh, this is a very chill job and you're very lucky to have these resources and income. Yeah, 100%. I thank God every single day. But my time is something that I cannot get back. I'm working very hard on things that I'm very passionate about. I took time away from that so that I could go to this event that Anua invited me to. I even planned events around it so I could make the most of my time, so it wouldn't be that I would just fly 6 hours to LA and then fly 6 hours back like the next day just to go to this event. Again, I think y'all don't understand. Anua is not inviting me for shits and gigs. They're not inviting me because, oh my God, we want you to have a fun time. They are looking for a service. This is my job. They are looking for promotional services for me to use my platform to support and spotlight their brand. And I go to a bunch of events. I make a bunch of organic content because that's just normal. That's just chill. But it's like, don't pretend like they just gave me this once in a lifetime opportunity to go to LA and I need to be so grateful. Like, am I crazy? Like,
she's totally right with some of this being a respect thing. They wanted her there, but couldn't arrange for her to travel there the way she wanted, right? I'm not, I agree, listen, I agree with the fact that it could have been done very easily. There's no reason why she shouldn't have been able to fly the way she wanted to, because there was discussion before that. However, again, just watch the language slightly, because it's not like, let's not act like economy is 100% beneath, No, but she doesn't think that. I don't know how to describe it. The language is just slightly off for me. Like, safe and comfortable. You're going to be safe in economy. Might be a little bit uncomfortable, but people do it every day, and it's the only option for some people to be like, it's not safe and comfortable. For me, is a bit like, you do have to watch your language, even as a content creator, because people are going to instantly be like, oh, that's an influencer and they only think they should only travel business. You know what I mean? She mentions how she didn't do other things for this event. That's another thing. Her time is her business. She is losing money for other opportunities by going to this event, and feeling like she wasn't respected is totally understandable. Of course, she said what she wanted to do and they were like, no.
Hi guys, I'm in LA now and Anua contacted me. And when I say they contacted me, I mean they contacted me, right? And I'm gonna give y'all a full tea because I'm not fake. I hate when people do story times or whatever and they don't give you like the full after effects. I'm gonna let y'all know what happened. And I got my iPad, so I'm dead ass, even though this is like a little funny. But I posted my video about Anua maybe at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I went about my business. I'm chilling in my house. I got a text at 1:30 in the morning. Who's texting me at 1:30 in the morning? My man is right here. I open up the phone.
So just remember, she went to LA anyway, not with Anua, because she had things she wanted to do out there.
Is somebody
but only because of this event, sorry.
From Anua personally texted me. I have not been in direct contact with Anua. They have been in contact with my agency. Cool. It's them apologizing sincerely and they didn't want to make me uncomfortable and miscommunication and we really value you. All this. Very cool, fine message with me. At 1:30 in the morning, I'm not going to respond to a business message. Now, this could be a cultural difference, a time difference issue. I know Anua Skincare is a Korean brand. Maybe they're operating on Korean time.
It might be someone in the US operating on Korean time. But I do know for a fact that the US team and the Korean team are different.
And I don't know what that time difference is, but I'm not going to respond to that. So I go to sleep. At 3:43, I get another message reiterating the same thing, how they want to talk to me directly and that it was a miscommunication. Cool. I'm asleep. Great. I get another message at 5:30 in the morning, and this is where it starts to like go off the rails a little bit because at this point, I'm like, who's texting me? Is this like an 18-year-old? Like, is this like somebody who's like young and just like playing around because they lose all the professionalism and they're texting me on some chill stuff. And now I could chalk this up to a cultural difference. They're explaining that they didn't know that Frontier was a quote whack ass airline and that they brought gifts for me from Korea and they hand wrote me a letter and that they're so sorry and they don't want me to think they hate me. And then they also proceed to tell me they did in fact book a hotel for me at the Cara Hotel and they sent the confirmation, but they think they sent it to an old email of mine, so no one knew. I don't know how this could have happened because they were in direct contact back and forth with my management. They were never in contact with me. I don't know what email they sent this to. When I asked my team, they said nothing about a hotel. They sent no confirmation. There was no mention of the Cara Hotel. And the thing is, I operate from a genuine place. And so I don't assume malicious intent, which is why a lot of y'all was commenting, I'm like, no, none of this was cool. None of this was cool. I am somebody, I do things genuinely. So I'm not assuming that people are slighting me, right? So when they hit me up and they was like, oh, we'll pay for travel. I'm like, cool, that's your budget. It's whether I'm willing to do it or not. Then they're like, okay, do economy. Okay, maybe you overextended yourself. Cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, I could get down with a smaller brand. I don't know what's y'all budget, whatever. But then it's when we hit Frontier, that's when I'm like, you trying to play with me? Cool. I can understand if it was a miscommunication, a once-time type of thing, whatever, if it wasn't for so many other girls hitting me up, telling me their experience with Anua doing similar things, poor communication,
really?
ghosting, canceling last second. It's clear that y'all have some sort of issue on the communication side of this. I use Anua skincare too. The products is fine, I guess. You know what I mean? But it's like, if so many people have the same thing to say, why don't y'all fix that? And they still really want to meet up with me, and even if I might be uncomfortable, and I'm somebody, I learned my fair share of lessons from evil men. I'm not a double backer. You know what I mean? Once I feel slighted, once I feel disrespected, I'm sorry. There's not going to be the PR campaign for me to fix the image. No, like, that's just not my vibe. I appreciate you explaining, which is what I said. Thank you so much for explaining. I appreciate it, but for me, it's cool, it's done. I'm in LA to do whatever it is I'm about to do. So that's the wrap on the Anua story. You can draw your own conclusions. And yes, there are far more serious things going on in the world, but nonetheless, this helps advocate for other people to get better treatment when dealing with brands. If I would have accepted the pickle juice, I would be sitting here drinking pickle juice. Like, also, never mind about them probably being in a different time zone. The screen recording of them showing me the hotel confirmation, it said 2:19 in the morning. So they were just texting me at this hour of the morning.
So they literally sent her a book. I have to say, them sending the text themselves, I think is sweet, but it's definitely not professional. It would have been a fine line for the person reaching back out to Anyika, because just sending a copy and paste super businessy text would have come across worse, really, and soulless. Whack ass is definitely not appropriate in this context. And some of the spelling, like because with a Z on the end and all this kind of stuff from them, I don't believe this was the Korean brand messaging them. I have worked with Korean brands and the messages are very professional, which I prefer. I don't like, hey babe, hey hun. They're very professional. They're very to the point. And when you do something with Korean brands, they have a really great way of telling you exactly what is going on and exactly what is expected. And they want that from you too, that great communication. So I'm thinking here, because we know that Anua have a US and a Korean-based PR team, either someone who is based in the US, sorry, not a PR team, just a team in general, I would assume that there are some times where someone from the US team may have to stay up and overlap that. Actually, what's the time difference? Because I'm thinking about the UK, it's like a whole day, but what's the time difference between, let's just say Seoul and LA. So okay, so Korea is 16 hours ahead of LA. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe you know, someone from the US team, their shifts overlap with the Korea team because of communications and stuff like that. I could imagine the Korean team apologizing for the work of the US team. If my camera's gone all glitchy, I'm so sorry, but this video is about to end. I just think the US team have everything very, very wrong. It's a very weird age for marketing professionals. And listen, I agree with her stance on no second chances, especially for brands. I've had brands message me and be like, can we, do you want to work together? And then they ghost me and then they come back like months later. And I'm like, no, sorry, you don't ghost people. It's really unprofessional. Well, it seems like my whole filming system just gave up on me, because that's where this video cuts off. Listen, let me know what you think of this situation down below in the comments. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.